I'm Johnny Millennium, and this is Victor Lucas, and this is Film Fury. And today we're going to review the Netflix original, The Defenders. But just before that, we want to thank our friends at the VFS School of Film. So we're going to review The Defenders, starring Sigourney Weaver, Charlie Cox, Krysten Ritter, Mike Colter, and Finn Jones. So I gotta ask you this.
Yeah.
Did you read the Defenders comic book in the 80s?
No, I never did. Did you?
I did, yeah, I did. I enjoyed it quite a lot back then.
I was a DC guy up until I started working with Tommy Tallarico and on EP and Reviews on the Run, and he got me into the Marvel stuff because he's such a massive Spider-Man fan. But I have become a pretty damn big Marvel fan, and I've read a bunch of these different things. I've never read Iron Fist or Luke Cage comics separately.
Or Jessica Jones. She's quite new, really, in the spectrum of comic books.
Yeah, creation of Brian Michael Bendis. But I've read quite a bit of Daredevil. I love that character, and I love the show.
I've always loved Daredevil, yeah.
Incredible, right? And Netflix and Marvel have done some amazing work with the Daredevil show, with the Luke Cage show, with the Jessica Jones show. Iron Fist put me to sleep, and I couldn't even finish that show.
You turned me off watching Iron Fist. You're saying, you know, it's not any good. I'm like, well, don't worry, I was going to watch it anyways. Now I'm definitely not going to watch it.
I mean, I feel guilty. I want to go back because, I've been one of these comic nerds. I've loved superheroes for so long that I begged, the studios to really pay attention and make these kinds of programs and make them feel authentic. And so far, they're batting pretty good on Netflix and Marvel on their collaborations.
So far?
But The Defenders...
What are you going to say?
I didn't like the show.
I hated this show.
Yeah, this was a hard show to get into.
It was a hard show to get through all the way to the end. At the end, I'm like, just get through it, another episode. And even my wife, she's like, I've had enough, no more. I'm like, I got to review this. I got to watch this.
I know.
What do you think went wrong?
I think that they were rushed to make this. I think that they should have let these shows kind of live on their own for a little while longer, let us get to know them. I think the Finn Jones casting as Danny Rand was a misstep. And, frankly, they improved that character a little bit, and I think that was kind of one of the agendas for the Defenders. But he's lame in comparison to the other stories, and a big chunk of it is the script, right?
The script is terrible.
Yes.
This is the worst script ever. I would have rather, in 8 episodes, I would have rather had 4 episodes that were really good, rather than 8 drag-on episodes, man.
You're right, because there is probably 3 to 4 good episodes worth of content in here.
And all the rest is filler and exposition.
I know, and they repeat these moments over and over again. And the thing that drove me nuts is that these are 4 superheroes with superpowers that have had life-changing things happen to them. They live and exist in the Marvel Cinematic Universe where aliens have attacked Earth, and specifically New York City, yet they are amazed at every damn thing, and they don't believe in the powers that the other people have or the power of the hand, and they're just aghast and shocked. And there's so many shots where Krysten Ritter eye rolls her way through the whole damn season, and I got so sick of her constantly just trying to make a joke or a gag or just make fun of somebody's costume, and there's some interesting bits in there, but when they just beat a dead horse with every single plot.
Here, like this.
Yeah.
I don't think I've heard enough about the hand.
I know.
Can you please tell me about the 5 fingers, 4 fingers of the hand?
I know, and it's
such
a. I mean, it's a cool bit of fiction in the comics. But when they have to hammer it home in the show, and they got to say the hand, you're not going to believe this police officer, but there's this organization called the. Yeah, the officer would believe that because Luke Cage lives in Harlem and he can lift cars. They would believe in this criminal ninja organization.
There's so much to take apart here. It's unfortunate. We both went in to enjoy this, and we really didn't. The problem, all it is. Half of this is characters standing in rooms, just talking.
I know.
Like it's all about
like
you.
6 sets. They got 6 sets in this goddamn thing.
And Sigourney Weaver, how many times? They're in a graveyard, just talking for some unknown reason.
I know.
About things.
I
Why?
like that Sigourney Weaver. She composes herself so well. She's such a fascinating performer. I love watching her, and she owns the role.
She's a great actress.
And she's great, and I like that she's wearing like out of time clothing to kind of connect us to the fact that she's a character that's been around a while.
For a long time,
and I like Charlie Cox as Daredevil. I think he's great.
He's great.
And I love Mike Colter as Luke Cage, and I think Krysten Ritter is good and a solid.
We're going to agree on the Iron Fist
and Finn Jones, like every time, and he's got some scenes in this show where he has to stand up and kind of tell people that he is all virtue and that you, all of you, this group of people around a boardroom that are trying to do evil, you won't do it because I'm going to stand. And they're all just looking at him incredulously. And I just feel like the whole audience that watches the show also looks at him incredulously because he's so not believable as a superhero.
My wife was sitting there and she's like, this guy's the worst actor in the world. And I'm like, every time he was on, I wasn't buying what he was selling.
I know. It's like they got to rip his shirt open to show the damn
tattoo is horrible.
Because to remind everybody that he is Iron Fist, it's like, come on, guys.
That tattoo is so bad. I'm sorry. And you know, my problem with this entire TV show was that these are superheroes, but they never felt like superheroes. No. They felt like a bunch of toughies that punching people and stuff.
And they even undermined a lot of what the Daredevil has been able to achieve. You know, the Daredevil stuff has been amazing, and it's all kind of muted in this show. And this is where they, like, if they had done this for real, the Defenders should have been exultant. It should have been like this amazing cap. Like, holy crap, Netflix could afford to do that. But it isn't like that. It's this cheap-ass thing with terrible effects and 5 sets, and it's lame.
I'm with you. It just felt super cheap. This is a big Marvel, show. Combining 4 shows into one.
I know. This should have been the reward, right? Like, we've gone through, we've watched all of the supporting players in each of these different shows, and they sort of squish them all in. So there's lots of cameos. I always love Rosario Dawson. I think she's just so fantastic in each of these individual shows. She's been the connecting element to all 4 of these heroes, and she kind of knows that they're all valuable people in this fictional New York that's created. And I like the down-to-earth kind of idea of the Defenders and these different shows, but there is definitely a quality disparity, and there's a mishmash. Iron Fist has major issues at this point.
I do not like his character, and I will never watch that show.
Which is such a drag, because it's a great idea, and out of the 4 Defenders, he has the moments where the greatest expense was spent on special effects, and he's got, the powers of the Iron Fist.
And he loves showing it like this.
And he likes talking about it, and it glows, yes. Yeah. And they also say Danny Rand way too much as well. They say way too much in the Iron Fist show, but it's Danny Rand in the hand, and it's so unfortunate that they rhyme, and they're often in the same sentence, and it's just so silly,
One more highlight thing I just want to talk about. I, being an 80s comic book fan, love Elektra.
Yeah.
And Elektra just wasn't as cool.
Not as powerful,
I just wanted her to let loose. Yeah. Let her go. Give her her bandana. Let her freaking rock,
and she does rock in the in the Daredevils.
In Daredevils,
yes.
Yeah.
And so did the Punisher, and the Punisher was kind of missing in this one. I'm glad that Bernthal's coming out with the Punisher TV show. You were dead on with your first comment. They should have made this 3 or 4 or a movie.
One good movie in the theater.
Yes.
Yeah, I would like to see.
Built up to that.
I wanted to see these superheroes be superheroes and really step out there, and it just seemed like some other TV show.
I know.
Nothing special at all.
Yeah, interesting bits. Not enough to hold this whole 8 episodes together. And 8 episodes is a truncated season. Like this should have been flying by with so much.
We should be excited and like, super happy to be watching this.
And honestly, like, celebrate that they are heroes and let them be larger than life. Let them wear their costumes. Arrow does this mishmash of this magic type elements fused with this gritty urban kind of fighting and combat really well. And they have 22 episode seasons or 24. And like Arrow was pulling it off on conventional television. This should have been a slam dunk. This should have been amazing.
This is a missed opportunity, and really, they shouldn't have even bothered. It just wasted everybody's time, except the actors who were getting paid. They got something out of this. As a movie-going guy, like TV-watching guy, I got absolutely nothing but tortured.
I felt bad for you because I know you're burnt out on the superhero stuff anyways, and this was lame as hell.
It was so lame. I was like, and I honestly thought, I'm like, Vic is gonna love this so much.
No, I really didn't.
I'm so happy and relieved I'm not the only one. I don't know what the consensus is, out there. I talked to one of my friends the other day, and I'm like, I'm on episode 6 of The Defenders. He's like, isn't it so good? I'm like, what? And we start arguing.
People are into it. I really thought this was mediocre, and in the context of how the highs of Daredevil and all that stuff, this is lame. I'm giving it a 5. What are you giving it?
I am going to give it a 5 as well. Not very good at all.
No, very disappointed.
So if you think you can make a better TV show than The Defenders...
I think you can.
I think you can. You can learn how to do so at the VFS School of Film in their 1-year program. Go to vfs.edu to learn more.